Go ride a horse. Feelings towards everything. I feel no bad. I know no bad. Open them. I'm not against you. Huh?
Are you bitter?
Bitter? No. No.
I have a question. Are you guilty of any murders? Are you guilty of plotting any murders?
I killed a chicken once.
Any human being?
No. No.
You're absolutely innocent of any conspiracy to commit murder or telling anyone to commit murder or planning it?
I'll plead guilty to the Indian.
Today we'll visit the gravesite of Shorty Shae and others associated with the Manson gang murders. This is Ron Hughes. We'll see his grave. Stephen Parent may just be the first murder victim of Tex Watson. Leno LaBiana, he owned a grocery store called Gateway Markets. Vincent Bugliosi, the prosecutor. We'll also see the grave of Sharon Tate. We'll continue and travel around to our 6th cemetery and find the grave of George Spahn. Most likely is, but I'll bring in some footage now of my Spahn Ranch visit a little while back. This is a ravine they threw Shorty's body down into. They leave him for dead. They come back the next morning, find that he's still alive, so they take him around the corner and down over this hill. They bury him in a shallow grave, sadly. He lays there from 1969 until 77 when it's revealed where he's located. They bring him to Compton for a proper burial. A group of good citizens has recently raised money and they've come out here and it looks like they've attached Donald Jerome Shae nameplate on his gravestone. I'm glad they did. is the resting place of Sharon Tate Polanski. Sharon was living at 10050 Cielo Drive. She had just returned from London on July the 20th, 1969, after visiting with her husband, who was working on the movie The Day of the Dolphin. Roman Polanski was due to return home to Los Angeles on August the 12th, 1969, for the anticipated birth of their baby. In the meantime, he asked friends Abigail Folger and Furkowski to stay with Sharon and keep her company. Jay Sebring happened to be visiting as well the night of the murders. Sharon had a bright future. She starred in The Fearless Vampire Killings in 1967. She also stars in Valley of the Dolls. This is also a 1967 film. This is Sharon on the right with the dark wig in the Beverly Hillbillies episode. Also, as you can see on the headstone, we have the mother Doris, the sister Patricia Tate. Doris would fight vigorously to keep the Manson gang in jail. She shows up at every parole hearing. Stephen Parent was visiting with the caretaker of the Tate home, and after his visit, he was encountered by Tex Watson, who stabbed and shot him 4 times, making him the first murder victim at Cielo Drive. Stephen Parent was a fine young man. He was working 2 jobs at the time. He is buried here at Rowland Heights, California. Now we'll make our way over to our 5th stop at Whittier, California. We'll find the grave of Leno LaBiana. Coming up on Leno's gravesite, Rosemary's not here. She was cremated and ashes given to family. I did find a copy of her driver's license online. A very pretty individual. Leno was smart enough to skip a grade in school. He goes on to graduate from USC with a finance degree, which is pretty tough to get. Leno had a gambling habit and he loved to bet on horses. He once spent $200,000 of capital from gateway markets that he owned. The LaBiancas were murdered on August the 10th, 1969, the next day after the Cielo Drive murders. Tex Watson, Charles Manson, Susan Atkins, Leslie Van Houten were all convicted of the LaBiana murders. This Harbor Freight Store, this was LaBianca's gateway markets back in the day. Had a thriving business. And then right next door where this Wingstop is, this was Rosemary's Clothing Boutique. LaBiana would run weekly coupons. This is Betty Crocker Week. Here's another ad for Thanksgiving week of 1968, just before he was murdered. He also ran this ad that if you spend X amount of dollars, you can make free long distance phone calls. He also made arrangements to have Don Drysdale sign autographs some weekends. I think it was one weekend a month. He would sign autographs at the gateway markets. We're at 2619 Figueroa Street in Los Angeles. Here's a picture of LaBiana for the grand opening of this particular store. LaBiana was president of Gateway Markets. He's pictured here along with some city council members. Now I found this footage of this store location. Look how busy they are. Looks like it can be a Friday or a Saturday. The thriving business, LaBiana gateway stores were known for their fresh produce and lots of variety in the meat case. Now we're at the grave of Vincent Bugliosi, the prosecutor of the Manson family and the prosecutor of Charles Manson. We're at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Glendale, California. This is also the same cemetery that Don Drysdale's buried in. However, he's in a private mausoleum. I can't get in to take any pictures. Okay, we got another stop. We're going to head over to Newhall, California and see George Spahn. George Spahn of the Spahn Movie Ranch. George Spahn's kind of an interesting story. He's from Pennsylvania. When he was a young man, around 23 years old, he bought a dairy cattle ranch and he established a milk route. So he was a milkman. He got tired of all the freezing snow and slush trying to deliver the milk route. So he sells out, moves out west. Go west, young man. Moves out west. He thought it'd be a good idea to buy the movie ranch. He does this. He rents out the ranch for Western movies. And then around 1966 or so, the movie business dried up. They just weren't making very many Westerns anymore. So around 1969, he's close to bankruptcy, and along comes a guy by the name of Charles Manson. Manson talks him way onto the ranch by telling George Spahn that we can take care of things, we can get your ranch in shape. You can rent these horses out for trail rides and such. And not only that, but we can give you special attention. There's lots of fine young ladies around here that can take care of all your needs. So George Spahn thinks about it, ends up taking them up on that. As I was leaving George Spahn right here in Newhall, California, I found this old carriage hearse. Just had to stop and video it. I wanted to mention that it was a miracle driving Southern California, making all 6 cemeteries. Actually, it was 7 stops if you include LaBiana store. So that was quite a feat. The traffic was reasonable. Thanks everybody for dropping in. Please leave a comment, thumbs up are nice too. Channel's doing real well. It's starting to pick up, and that's encouraging to me as well. So I appreciate every one of you. Everyone needs to be remembered. See you on the next one.